In this short presentation, I will show how the eClouds Google Map app works. It is very simple and straightforward. It is intended to be a basic tool. It does not have driving direction. It's not going to go grocery shopping for you or do anything. It's simply going to show dots on a map, and you can color code them to your heart's content. You can show as little as 10 or 100, or we have tried up to 15,000, and the whole world is your playground, of course, since we are relying on standard Google technology. And best of all, there is no upsell, there is no freemium model. We're never going to try to charge you more. The only thing you have to do is to go in and create your free Google account. Google give you a really good amount of free API calls, and when we install the app, we'll show you how to do that, or we can do that for you or send you the instructions. So here's the interface. On the left side you have search criteria, and on the right you have the map. You can select existing list views from your existing account view, and then you can create searches here on the left that are available here. We have created a couple for demo purposes, and I'll create a new one. And then we have settings. Settings is extremely basic, straightforward. There is only 3 things in settings. The first is search filter fields, and that means that you push over the fields to the right side of the screen that you want to have available here, that I'll show in a second. And if you want to create your own search criteria right here in the app, unless you of course already have a list view that you have created on the normal account object. So for the purpose of this demo, we are not going to use any of these. I'm not going to use, you see, you can push over any field. I'm just going to stick to these 3 fields for demo purposes, but you can push over any field and search by that. The second option here under settings is tooltip. That means which fields do you want to have visible when you click on the dot on the map, on the red or whatever color you choose. And right now I'm just going to choose here account name, and we can also choose then, for example, billing city, and of course if you have on the account level like what type of account it is or anything else, you can just push that over. And in this case, I guess we'll just do account phone in case you're using this for sale. So that means that these 3 fields are going to be visible. And then last but not least, these are the account type. Whatever values you have on the account type field in accounts, you can set a color to, and then you can sort it accordingly. So to make it very quick and simple, I have here prepared 2 tabs. The first tab is, of course, I'm going back to under Object Manager. I go back to the account and I show the type, and here you can set your values. Any admin will know that, of course. And here is an example. Under the account tab, I have created a standard list view, and as you can see here, the list view contains Starbucks and billing city Odessa Midland. I'll show that in a second. And under type here, I have created a couple of different values just to show how you color code. It's really that simple. Let's go back then. So you can, in typical standard fashion, create whatever color you want. Hex colors, RGB, and so on. I mean, that's just standard Salesforce functionality. So let's create a query on the fly here. So here we have account name. I'm going to select option contains, and I'm going to do Starbucks because we have loaded all this 13,800, I think it was, Starbucks locations in the United States in here. And I'm going to do billing city. And when I do billing city, I can make it simple, contains, and we can do, for example, let's do Kansas City, just for the fun of it. We click and we see all the red dot comes up, of course, in the middle. This is standard Google technology, but just inside Salesforce. So now, of course, you have map on all of this. When we click on that, we can see that the 2 fields I had chosen are in here. And yep, it's really that simple. And that shows how you do a quick search. Now we're going to do something else. We're going to remove this search and I'm going to refresh. You need to refresh, of course, between loading. So I have prepared a list view that is called Starbucks Accounts Google Maps. I pre-created 2. This is the one I mentioned where we have done just a handful in Midland and Odessa, Texas, just to show how the color coding can work. So here we have the Starbucks location in those 2 cities in Central Texas. And if you can remember then, this corresponds to this tab that I generated here, or not the tab, the list view. So there you have it. Pretty straightforward. And now we click here and we see we have the account name, we have the address, and we have the status. Those are the 3 fields that I had selected in settings. So that's pretty much it. It is that simple. So you can select and available searches here that you have created are available here, or just create your list views. Here's, for example, I'll show you another one quickly. Here we did, just for the fun of it, all the Starbucks in New York, state of New York. Man, they got a ton of them there. It's almost too many. But when you map out a sales territory where your customers are, whether it is consumers, of course, with consumers you need to have person accounts available. Otherwise it doesn't work, because right now this only works with accounts, not contacts. But there you go. So I hope you found this helpful, and thank you for downloading this great app.